Okay, it's 6:30.
Let's do it.
So seeing that it's 6:30, I'd like to call the Board of Select Persons meeting to order.
I'll second that.
You'll second that, and then, I'd like to, move that we go into executive session pursuant to 1 MRSA subsection 4056F.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Yes,
Okay. So,
recording stopped.
oh,
Okay,
at the executive session at 6:56.
Second.
All in favor? Melanie, Peter, Barbara, myself. Okay, now I move, we return to regular session at 6:56.
Second.
All in favor? Melanie, Barbara? Okay. So now we're back in regular session. So. We're ready for a motion?
Sure,
Want me to do it? You want to do it?
sure, go ahead.
I move that we, assess a fee of, $132 based on the, statute that we were using at the time the request was made.
Great, I second that.
Who second that? Okay. Barbara, you're going to recuse yourself?
Yes.
Okay, Barbara's recusing. Melanie?
No.
No. Peter?
Yes.
And I vote yes. So
Motion carries.
the motion carries with just 3 voting. We have 4 people, but only 3 voting. Okay, so the motion carries, so it would be the 132. And we can get you the information that you've requested to go with that.
And I want all time documented,
Yeah, well,
and I want it written why I wasn't given a estimate.
we can certainly write up what, I mean, it was a mistake, but we certainly can write that up, that there was a mistake made. Absolutely,
We want you to get your data.
Oh,
yeah,
it's perfect.
Yeah.
So,
okay,
It's very important to me,
Yeah,
and for everybody on
absolutely.
the board, we want you to get your data.
okay.
okay, so, we can invite other people to come in. Okay, thank you, Jeff, for coming. And Mary?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I can't hear you. Sorry.
Executive session.
Right,
Was the town manager here for the town about reason? Because they're not part of the executive session.
I never thought not to have it here, so,
Okay.
that's never what half my brain.
Yes, regular session.
Okay, thank you. Oh my lord, we're gonna have a party today.
Could everyone sign in, please? And, please print.
Feel like that old show, enter and sign in, please. Those people aren't old enough to remember what that,
What was the show?
it was what's my line? Wasn't that the show where they came in and they wrote the name on the board? Enter and sign in? I think so. Now I'm really for my age.
Before my time.
No, it was not. Don't you give me that.
There's a new show.
We call the meeting to order before we start our executive session, but we'd like to do the pledge of allegiance. All stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so, we do have, four members here. Dan, is going to be late, so Dan may be coming in, but we do have quorum, so we're ready to go with that. I move we open the meeting.
Second.
The first thing in our meeting is public comment. It's an opportunity for anyone who has something they wish to make the board aware of that, is not on the agenda, but something that they would like to bring to our attention. And, in general, it will not be acted on tonight, but it would be referred to either the appropriate committee or to a following board meeting. So are there any public comments tonight?
Mine's a good one.
We only have good
Only
ones
good ones
tonight.
Bruce Galush. So, just want to get, kind of let the board know things that had took place. Want to thank some people publicly, especially Lorna, for the grant, doing the grants for Collins and King. We kind of got something dropped in our lap last minute of the deadline day, and, she came in the office as a trooper. She bounced stuff back and forth between us, a lot of thanks to Carol, Travis, Tom Daniels. It took a lot, it's probably one of my most stressful days I've had in a lot of years. But we got it done, it was right at the last minute, but we got it done, and, she did a great job,
Yeah,
And everybody did, but I mean, it was a day off and she came in and.
yeah.
So,
Lorna did take the.
I just wanna make sure everybody knew that, and I wanted it publicly,
Well, thank you, Bruce.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it was, for those of you who may not know, we applied for a grant through Senator Collins' office and then found out we could apply through Senator King, which was a different application. And that decision was made at noontime, and it had to be in by 6 o'clock. And Lorna got it in there at 5:45, so she did make the deadline with, all of that happening, so. Thank you, Lorna, and thank you, Bruce, for bringing that to our attention. Anyone else have anything on public comment? Okay, we'll start by reviewing the minutes from the select board meeting on April 16th. Make that motion. Anyone have any corrections or additions?
Seemed relatively straightforward.
I did not have any. Barbara?
No,
Bill? No? Okay, all in favor of approving the minutes from April 16th?
There was a motion, not a second.
Well, I'll second that.
Oh. That's
So Melanie motion, I'll second.
second. Okay, all in favor. Melanie?
Yes.
Peter? Barbara?
Yes.
And I'll vote yes. So 4 yes, 1 absent. And then we also need. Oh,
We just, appointed Kelsey LeBold as a DMV agent. So the minutes, state Nick, which we did, but Nick was looking to get rid of some duties, and we just appointed.
But the minutes of that.
Okay.
So the minutes tonight will reflect.
That change, yes, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, because this is
all
for.
right. And then we also have some minutes from executive session. See where they are today. Somewhere on the papers on my desk. So approve the minutes of the executive session on April 22nd.
Making a motion that we approve both minutes.
Okay, is there a second?
A second.
Okay, I do see one correction on the, I don't know. Third paragraph down, it says, we voted 5 in favor and 1 absent. It should be 5 in favor. Because everyone was there. We didn't have anyone absent at that, so that would just be a correction to that minute, to the minutes. So, I move we approve them with the amendment. You second the amendment, all in favor of the amendment? Barbara?
Yes.
Peter, Melanie, myself, and then in favor of approving the minutes as amended. Melanie,
Yes.
Peter,
Yes.
Barbara,
Yes.
okay,
You'll vote yes.
I'll vote yes. So that's 4 yeses and one absent. Okay, under unfinished business, I move we open that item.
Second.
Can I make a motion that we table that until Dan gets here, because.
Yes, yeah, yes, he does. Yeah.
Make a motion to table that and put it in.
So.
I'll second that.
You'll second that. Okay, all in favor, Melanie,
Yes.
Peter,
Yes,
Carol,
Yes.
Barbara. So four yeses, one absent to table. Till hopefully later in the meeting if Dan can make it. And the next thing under unfinished business is the fire station engineering contract, grant updates and special town meeting consideration. Lorna, or,
So we have a contract, we, sent that over to legal counsel, they came back with some changes. Sent that over to Sheridan. They got back to us with some questions on those changes. Sent that to legal counsel. And they replied, sent that to Sheridan. And was waiting for them to get back to us on it. I assumed they had their legal counsel review it. But speaking with them today, they had reviewed it in-house and not sent to their legal counsel. So I suggested that the two attorneys get together, finalize and get us a good copy so that we could sign, so we really wanted to get a contract signed. So we're waiting to hear back from them on
okay,
it.
so on the
So,
contract, we're waiting to
Nothing
hear
for
from
their
Sheridan.
contract just yet. Did you want to, yeah,
So I was wondering if the board could authorize either Carol or Lorna to, if we get the contract back from the attorney, and you guys kind of can proofread it through email or whatever, or give Lorna or Carol the authority to sign the contract, so we're not held up for another 2 weeks.
We can look at that. I mean, I think we'd have to have the attorneys say that they're in agreement. If the attorneys aren't in agreement, then I think it needs to come to the board. I don't want to override any legal decision without the
Well,
board,
and I'm not asking to override the decision, if attorneys come to a decision
right?
and everything is kosher, then.
How does the board feel about that?
who what is on the contract? Is it all the select board sides or just? I don't think it has everybody on.
I don't think it has everybody on it.
You and.
I think it's just a representative of the town.
Yeah,
Yeah, so either you or Carol put something.
right.
Yeah, I mean, the big, some of the things on there that I think is. We shouldn't even be fighting over. I mean, even though the attorney said, just let this stuff go, well, just let it go. If our attorneys are saying that, don't fight this, it's just let this go, then just let it go. The stuff that he says that, we need to fight on, and yes.
Yeah, I think things where he says push back, we should, and let
Right.
us, when we do.
But my biggest thing I got is Sheridan, so Sheridan has done hundreds of projects with municipalities across this state, okay? And they're not gonna send a contract to the town of Belgrade, that's any different than send any other municipality. So I'm kind of questioning why the attorneys question some, and I know they're looking out for our best interest,
Mhm.
but why hasn't any other municipality in the state of Maine picked up on any of that?
Well, they may have done, I mean, I don't know that, but
Right.
they may have been to another company, another town, and they worked out the deal, so. I mean, we're paying legal counsel to make sure they correct the
But I mean,
town.
if Sheridan had to fix this deal 100 times, they would have sent a proper contract to start with. You understand what I'm saying?
I
think
I
the
hear where you're
contract we
coming
use
from.
now is kind of like a template.
Yeah.
Law, it's a, there was some site they go now, but.
Do we have a copy of the contract that we're discussing, or is it just in our emails?
Just,
I think it's just in your email. You did have a copy of the contract when we
We had the first
got
time
it.
through,
Oh.
yeah.
yeah, but the one that's cut up is, because
There are quite a few areas that are
Kinda
in question, so
Well,
there,
it's hard for us to review it and say yay or nay when we don't have a hard copy in front of us.
but we're not. I don't have a final for you to look at. There are several areas in the contract that would be changed. What you would be looking at would not be the final.
Right.
So-
So I guess the real question is the board comfortable authorizing either myself or Lorna to sign it, providing the attorneys are in agreement?
The attorneys have to be in agreement.
Huh?
I said the attorneys have to be in agreement.
Right. So are we comfortable with that, or do we either call a special meeting, or we wait till the 21st? That's really the question. Dan, do you have any thoughts? Huh?
I don't have a problem with somebody signing it, but I don't know how you can, the board has to approve the contracts. Now, how you can approve a contract if you don't have a finished contract? So I'm not really sure how we do that. It's kind of like putting the cart before the horse.
Or
Yeah, can have either a special meeting.
A
or
special-
until the
Which-
20th.
special meeting?
I think it's probably the best thing is to do it legally, especially.
We could do a special meeting, just grab all of the board together to,
Yeah.
we get it back.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
that
certainly
would
willing to do
be-
that so that we don't hold
Yes.
anything up.
Yeah, because I think that that's gonna be the only way that we can really, because by signing that, it says that the board has reviewed the contract and that we're all
Right.
agreed. on moving it forward.
Right.
So if you have one person signing that,
Right,
we have. Unless we've made a motion in a meeting that states that we approve moving this contract forward and we give authority to sign.
right. Well, that's the question. Do we want to do that? Do we just, everyone need to make themselves available on short notice to
Do we know,
do a special meeting?
Legally that we can do.
yeah, do we know when the revisions might be available, revised contract?
We don't know. I just spoke with Dawn today and Sheridan.
It might be, who knows, the way lawyers work, maybe 2 weeks anyway.
I mean, I held us up for several weeks, so.
Well, I will let the board know that I'd be happy to try and make myself available for a special meeting.
That would be, would need to be. a
Whatever that
meeting.
can be, I would do everything I could, but
As fast as they've been going, it'll probably be the next select board meeting. Or either they're going.
Yeah, cause the fire attorney's been dragging their feet, now their attorney's dragging his feet, and it's like.
Well, I was surprised to know that they hadn't sent it to their attorney.
Yeah.
That sort of
I
surprised
was
me.
really
When we
surprised.
found that out, it was like, yikes. So,
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do we need to have the contract in order to have this special town meeting?
No,
no,
Because we have the process, we just.
correct.
right,
Because you're not voting on an engineer or anything like that. You're voting on the support of 25%
Right.
right,
matching funds. for the
Okay.
grant. Yes.
all right. So if we're comfortable doing that, we'll make ourselves available as soon as we get the thing back.
And it might end up being the next meeting.
I'm sorry,
It might be the next meeting.
it might be our
anyway.
next meeting, but
I mean,
hopefully it's
their
not.
lawyer again, our lawyer. They fight over something. It might
Yes,
be.
okay. All right,
I have a
Yes,
question
Melanie.
on this as well. We're looking at the special town meeting, if we're looking at 967,000 coming out of the town, where's that money coming from?
Well, that's where the next whole,
Because that's almost $1 million in a town meeting when we took it out. It designated.
that doesn't have to come up with until next year, right?
Correct.
Yeah, but.
It's just, they threw that part onto us too, I don't know, was that, we discussing that? too?
okay, well,
Maybe we should work our way down.
I was gonna say, let's work through the update on the CES grants.
Right.
Is there anything more than what we, oh, well, the reason why we need a town meeting, right?
Right, so the reason they're requesting a special town meeting from you is they feel we are in a very good position with our application by showing that the town supports matching the grant with 25% the project cost. It checks off another box so that as we go through the application process, our application is not bumped by another project that does have the box checked. And then they got a hold of me late last night, and we had intended to put the allocation, $30,000 from ARPA toward the project cost, but those are also federal funds, so we can't do that. It didn't change the bottom line figure on the special town meeting draft warrant that you received to review. So they gave us the indication that they feel we have a very strong application. But it shows. It makes it even stronger, if you will, if we can demonstrate that the town supports the 25%.
Support the vote. Okay,
But I got thrown onto us,
The last one.
they didn't say anything about this.
no, I was gonna say, all the way
'Cause I
along,
didn't see any emails or anything about it.
No, there was,
Wow, it was like last minute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had an hour meeting.
So how did we get the information from them that this is how we had to do this if we don't have any, we don't have any?
that was forwarded out to the board.
The, so was it an email or a letter?
Yes, it was email.
Okay,
so they emailed you and, yeah, I
Yeah.
remember like, yeah,
Yeah.
how do we do this? So,
Yeah, it was last week. It's like good.
yeah,
Press.
Which is, and then, but then they're gonna take a year to make a decision.
Right, they don't
We
announce,
Still won't know until
Right.
April.
Right, so we don't have to take we just have to have taxpayer approval for that 25%. And proof that we can get the bond, but we don't have to take the bond until
right,
next spring.
right,
I
I mean,
mean,
part of-
the option is to leave the contract or the application as is and hope. Right,
right,
because I think what they found out, like Clinton, another department, they got like $2 million and they still get to use it for multiple years, because the town won't fund it. Their part. So they get 2 million, but I think they finally broke that barrier, but it took them time to do.
and they have had municipalities put an application in and not have support for the
Oh.
25% match.
So
And
the-
try to get that, and they could not, so then the application had to be pulled.
and then it takes away from other people and they
It
don't
does.
spend money.
If there was a chance, we still could get it without doing it, but
It's very slim.
Yeah,
we don't know. Yeah. It wasn't planned, let's put it that way.
I mean, it'd been nice, but it told us this when we started.
right, here's a grant opportunity and these are all the boxes that need to be checked.
Yeah.
They didn't tell us that, and then they gave us a pretty short window to get it done in.
yeah, 12 days or something, it was really, it was a lot
It's like 10, 11 days from the time we got the applications.
of.
So do we want to move on to the decision on calling a special town meeting?
I think that's where we need to go next is. Are we in agreement that we want to? I think we need to do it. I think we need to take advantage of it and, you know, we've been funding. What did we take this year? $500,000 out of undesignated? And put that into the fire department? Was it 500 or 400?
No,
No, that's 300, that's 300 into the building.
Yeah.
300
we're-
in the building.
Because we only had 628 in there.
So if we use that thinking another year, if we come out the same way, that could take down less that has to be bonded when the time comes, because we could move money like we've been moving it, which makes it more
well, some of
palatable.
that capital reserve is for
So,
what we got going on right now, the land, engineering,
right,
the contract we're gonna be signing on Sheridan, that's paying that, so we don't have to come up with any money for that.
But all of that is included in
In
that.
that.
total.
Included in
Yeah,
that.
the total project cost.
And that's an estimated, we're hoping. to be
Yes,
less than
it is.
that.
Right.
There's just numbers that Sheridan threw out, with what?
In a short, the same short window we had to build bigger
Right.
out, so they didn't have very much time to really do any figures, and we haven't met with them again and to crunch stuff.
We're not
Yeah.
on contract.
We don't have a contract, of course, we can't meet with any designers or anything like that, we have a contract.
Peter,
So, I'm in favor of moving ahead to having a special town meeting to have this on.
okay.
Are you making that motion?
I will in a second. But I wanted to ask, even if we do this and if this passes, and if the grant is not awarded, we're not out money,
No,
right? So it's not like we're harming anything, it's just putting the town through this gyration to.
But I wish that could be worded in the warrant, or whatever you wanna call it, that if we don't get the grant, then this is null and void, we'd be going back to it for a full,
right, yeah.
Full of
whatever the
Yeah,
value
yeah,
would
then we're
be.
gonna ask you to vote for
Right.
6.6 instead of 1 point,
But I
whatever.
get that out to the people, I don't want the town people thinking we're trying to pull something over.
right, I agree.
Which, you know, that's the thing that worries me.
Yeah,
Hey, they're rushing this in, that we're trying to, you know, slide this in, no, we're trying to save the town if we can get.
$4.7 million.
Right, we can get $4 or $5 million.
Right, and that can't, well, that can't, language can't be in the warrant, it can be in, on the town website, it can be in informational material that we could get out in
Right, and we have
short order
short
to.
time to do that.
Yes,
yeah.
As I say, if they prove it, they can get it. I'll tell you.
Aaron has.
I was just gonna say it could be communicated, because this isn't gonna be a written ballot vote anyway, this is gonna be an open town meeting where whoever shows up, that's who's voting. By a show of
And
hands.
then you've got your.
Oh, I don't even ballot thing.
No, this is not a written ballot.
No.
So then we
That's
could,
the only way
then
to
we
do
could
it
tell people
quickly.
that, what this, the whole
Yeah,
plan
if it was
is.
written
And if
ballot.
we don't get the grant, and then
Yeah,
that's done, then we'll come back to the
come
town,
back for another.
another town meeting to,
Come back to the town for $6 million.
I didn't realize.
Did you have a question, Melanie?
So what's the cost of doing that town meeting?
Whatever we're paying Jay.
Oh, moderator, the moderator only.
And,
What,
right,
advertising?
the
Joe moderator?
Jay's gonna moderate because, Christian is actually, graduated from college to go in Ireland, so they'll be gone. So, yeah, Jay, I already contacted him and he's
Yeah.
willing to do it.
And how much notice do you need to have that?
7 days.
7
Yeah.
days. Melanie, did you have a comment? I thought you did.
Well, that was, I was gonna ask,
Oh,
what the cost was for a special town meeting, because the one that we just tabled also had requested that.
mhm.
So if we're going to have an article on a special town meeting, we probably should also add the other article. The food one, he had requested a town meeting.
Yeah, we will need to do that.
But I thought the timing was such that we couldn't do that.
It's an ordinance.
Special, it's an ordinance, so that it would have to be a written ballot,
It
right?
should be.
It's a different process
Yeah,
for an ordinance.
We can do that in November.
yeah.
Yes, okay. Dan, do you have thoughts one way or the other?
No, I mean, I agree, but we're gonna have to have the town meeting, so.
I thought it would be more.
I think we were looking at
No.
what, Thursday, the 23rd, is that what you were suggesting?
But do we first need a decision on?
Well, I was just gonna
Yeah,
sort of,
calling it or not?
Gonna tee it
I'm
up.
gonna throw an anchor in that. These are the days that Jay's available, the 15th through the 22nd, not available the 23rd.
the 15th or the 22nd, okay.
No,
The 15th through,
Oh, the 15th through the 22nd.
And so can I just throw something, I think holding on an evening during the week. People work. It's gonna be a short notice, so more people could attend. Shouldn't it be considered for a Saturday? I'm throwing that out there, I just think that,
I work on Saturday.
you would get I know you work. on Saturday.
Mallory's not.
You're
able
gonna
to be
get a
here.
larger population of people.
and Carol's away.
I'm away and Barbara's away.
I'm away on the. yeah,
So
that
3 of the
weekend.
select board are unavailable and I don't know what. You
You're
can't.
not
come here?
available?
No, the 18th.
And we can't allow people to participate via Zoom or vote because it's an open.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's why we looked at the 22nd or 3rd to give as much time as we possibly can
To get
to
this
get the
out.
word out.
Do it on the 22nd, which
Yeah.
is Wednesday.
Yeah.
That's the last day Jay can do it.
Yeah. Do we have to have it
It is,
by when, what was the thing? for-
24th, I have to tell them by the 24th, I'm telling you.
so I mean, that is.
Rather
a
have
very
extra
town
day.
office.
Right?
All right, but one extra day would be nice. So 22nd, yeah, that'd be my recommendation.
You know, that's a day that the office is closed,
Correct.
but
Yeah,
we could have, it would be at the center.
Yes.
It would be at the center. Okay. So want to make a
So
motion?
is Peter ready? Peter was gonna make a
Peter's
motion.
ready.
Let's get started.
So I moved that we had a special town meeting for June 22nd, 2024.
May.
May.
I'm sorry,
May.
May 22nd.
yeah.
Thank you.
Couple
May
weeks away.
22nd.
Do you have a time?
How about six?
6:30.
6:30.
That's too well.
Yeah, I do 6:30, so it's not gonna take one thing, it's gonna be,
Actually, we're gonna have two articles.
Well, it's just the, it's
Elect
just
the moderator.
the support,
Elect the moderator.
25% support, and Article 3 is to allow the select board to award contracts to local contractors for the new fire station project on an in-house selection basis with the best interest of the town in mind for contracted services associated with the entire project, including but not limited to the development, site work, and construction of the new fire station. I know you all had mentioned that. That was,
oh, maybe it's 7, I don't think it's gonna take, if we do a whole town meeting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy with 7 o'clock.
Yeah,
We'll
seven.
be out of there long before 8, probably.
Okay, you wanna, your motion is what?
Sorry. So we keep
Move
messing
Move to have a special town meeting on May 22nd, 2024 at 7 P.M. at the Santa Claus season.
Okay,
I will second that.
Melanie will second that. Any discussion? All in favor, Dan?
Yes.
Barbara?
Yes.
Peter?
Yes.
Melanie?
Yes.
And I'll vote yes, so that makes 5.
Okay, so sorry, I just have a tiny hesitation, because I do feel like that special town meeting should be able to be recorded. We do not yet have recording capabilities at Santa Claus seasons. So should we have the special town meeting here so that we can utilize the meeting hour? So if folks after the fact want to view the town meeting, they can.
Are we gonna be large enough space for,
What's the
Depends
capacity?
what, how much, we gotta get the information out to people, I don't know how many.
I mean, I-
I'm hoping we have a good turnout.
Yeah, what's
We
the
can explain
capacity
it.
of this room?
do you know the capacity of this room?
I have no idea.
I think we should call the fire.
Let's
chief
ask the
now.
fire department.
It should be the house, we posted.
100?
No, it could be 100.
I wanna say it's 58, but.
I was gonna say,
I don't think it's 100.
You don't think
No.
it's 100?
No,
Tonight, we could open the doors and let people stand outside.
So is that a new thing about recording? We haven't never recorded town meetings before, right?
No, that's
No.
part of the reason we're trying to, get video equipment up there so that we can. have-
Yeah. No, it makes sense, I was just.
I mean, maybe we
something
can
that-
record it on a phone or something and then put it onto a thumb drive, am I right? I mean, so that we'll have it.
We have, I mean, we do our
yeah, we
Super
can
Sunday,
record it.
we have a camera.
So
I mean,
if we're
depends how many
recorded, I
people are-
can upload it to
Yeah,
YouTube.
it just wouldn't be live streamed, it could be
Right.
recorded,
But if
but
you
not
can
live
put it on
streamed.
a thumb drive,
Yeah, that's what
I
we
can
do with our
upload it.
Super Sunday training for the ones who can't make it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's not sophisticated, it's just small,
Yeah, that
on a
would.
tripod.
It works
That would
pretty
be-
well.
Just so if there's any questions, we've got something to the. folks
No, I
that
agree.
see it.
Right.
Yep.
And if not, maybe we can look into seeing something, find something a little bit better. And
Okay.
we'll ask around, please get by to this point until you get something done.
Yeah,
Right.
because we're supposed to be doing something with video stuff up there, and we also are supposed to be, I wanted us to have a pretty video, approach to video, things like the dedications and things like that. And we're supposed to be actually hiring somebody to do the stuff, around the fund, so. There's an option
Just
to.
hook the laptop.
So I
Yeah,
think,
like, yeah, I see what you're saying. It's
Why
like
can't we
this,
just take the meeting owl down there for the night? It's only hooked to the laptop.
Yeah.
and we could do,
Why won't it work down there?
and we could do the video too, to have it.
we just wouldn't
Well, that's if you
necessarily
want, we
have
don't-
Zoom.
We wouldn't have,
capability.
We're just,
have a display.
right, we're just, we'll
We're just
be on the
getting
laptop for
Right.
the controlling of it. All we care
Right.
about is that it's recording it.
Right,
Right,
yeah, that would work too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Peter, oh, I don't-
Yeah, I think it's a question of what's easier
Right.
in terms of just taking the camera that the fire department has or moving all this stuff.
well,
I
we
don't
can,
know.
we don't
It's easier
decide
for
that
the
tonight.
tripod of the camera.
Either way.
I mean, we can
Yeah,
work
Go
that
one way or
out.
the other.
So, if you want to work out, one of you and Mary and the staff on how we're gonna get this notice out. I mean, I think if we can have something that is in some format, I'm more than happy to blast that out to my email people. And if we ask people, because I think we want as many people as we can have, because I don't want anyone thinking, I'm against that, and they did that so quick, and they just loaded it with fire people, and they didn't.
And I think you should put the PowerPoint out too, if there's a way.
Yes, I can put it on our website and put a link on our Facebook page.
It wouldn't hurt, like, if you could do like
It's a great
a paragraph of
presentation.
A
of why
paragraph.
we're doing this,
Yeah.
and then we could put it on our Facebook.
Right, I
I'll
think
use that
And get it out
section.
as much.
we all put a link that folks can go in and access. it. There's enough
Right.
of us trying to get the information out.
Yeah,
Fire departments.
Like, but a small little write, not too long, people get tired of reading.
well, and I think if we ask all our committees. So we asked the historical committee to call all of their committee members, and we asked senior resource to let their members know, and then ask those members to tell people, so that we're really asking
And I have-
everybody.
I have them all listed in groups, so I can
Okay.
send out a group.
Email
To
the
the
more the merrier.
Historical Society to that. I also kind of think it should be in the newspaper. I know a lot of people don't get the newspaper, but at least we can say, we publicly put this in, a document that's distributed.
Yeah,
I know that there is a cost to that, so that will be the additional cost.
oh, you don't think just a press,
Newspaper.
a press,
We will just make it, small block ad to say, special town meeting. The date, the time, and the place. For more details, please visit the Town of Belgrade website.
Yeah,
but we could also do a press release, that's free, and people
Yeah.
might be more likely to see that.
Lorna could do that.
yeah,
Yeah, just
Okay.
I think more people, the better.
yeah, the more, and,
And then we can explain it to the people. that-
well, and I think,
Easier.
I could also add 2 or 3 pages to the end of the PowerPoint that actually have the numbers and that stuff to it. So just take what we have for PowerPoint and expand 2 or 3 pages on it.
Yeah, that work.
Not that it's not long enough already, but,
To a special town.
yeah, so. Okay,
So we're good.
so we're good? Okay,
Lot of work, thank you guys.
yeah, thank you. So, now that Dan's here,
Oh, right.
I move that we, untable the food sovereignty ordinance discussion. We saved it for you, Dean.
Didn't happen.
Oh,
I have no desire. Of that, an ordinance, but
Did we have
So do we
a
need-
second?
I'll second.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
Oh,
Melanie
no,
did.
second.
Melanie did, okay, thank you.
Okay. So,
And do we all need to vote on that?
oh, on tabling, untabling it, yes. Dan,
yeah,
Barbara,
Yes.
Peter,
Yes.
Melanie,
Yes.
and I'll vote yes. So 5 yeses. So we are now untabled from the food sovereignty ordinance discussion. Lorna, do you want to just,
So this is, you've had this in front of you a couple of times, now, what I included was information that MMA has put out. On the food sovereignty, ordinance that a lot of towns are adopting, putting in place. I believe there are 90 towns in Maine currently, who have put an ordinance in place. I also provided, there's a short, less than half a page information on liability for the municipality. I think that was a concern you had initially, Dan. And then MMA also provides a sample ordinance. I think most municipalities use this template and just plug in the name of the town and put it to voters to adopt.
Thank you, Lorna. I have a question.
Yeah.
What's the downside of having this ordinance? Dan, I heard you say you're not interested in this. What's the downside?
I don't like exemptions for food safety. Just don't like, I don't like them when we talk about the state, I don't like them. Because there's too many peanut allergies, there's too many allergies out there. And I don't like exemptions for food safety. Basically, these ordinances allow, one of the exemptions is licensure and inspection. So. I have a problem with food safety. Used to work in a restaurant, went to school for food service.
Yeah.
right,
A lot to be said there.
it's my understanding that if we enact this, people are approved to sell, but sell from their house only, direct 1-to-1. So it's sort of almost like buyer beware. You're
Like
getting,
I'm making me an apple pie.
what,
Come by, I make 10 apple pies and I'm
Yeah.
gonna sell 10 apple pies from my house.
Yeah.
Did we let the resident know we were taking this up again tonight?
He was here at the last meeting and we said we were tabling it to this meeting.
Okay.
so, anyone else have any thoughts on it?
But it also includes, roadside stands, fundraisers, farmers markets. It's not just, I think they changed it. It says that effective 23, it
Oh, okay.
expanded. The definition expanded to include, food.
Fundraisers,
On
farmers
the
markets?
property or at roadside stands, fundraisers, farmers markets, and community social events or other. So it's a little broader than just,
It is a little broader.
I guess when it started originally, it was just direct from the person's
Mhm.
home.
So if we don't have a food sovereignty ordinance, does that mean that farm stands and folks who have signs out saying fresh eggs, that they are somehow prohibited from being able to continue in that practice?
I don't think the fresh egg,
No, because you're not making that egg.
right?
It's not something you're preparing.
What you're feeding chickens is making me.
And if you don't have the ordinance, you don't have to worry about the town having to try to enforce something. And anything to do with liability, even though it's limited,
Right,
you know, if you don't have the ordinance,
it's
the
kind of.
state of Maine passed the constitutional amendment, what, 2 years ago now,
Mhm.
on right to food, which covers most of the people with, you can grow what you want, you can have chickens in the middle of the city now, you can do whatever, mostly whatever you want. And the city will have to take you to court to try to overturn all that, and I think it covered most of this stuff. And so I'm just not. Our code enforcement office doesn't need something else to have for an ordinance to deal with.
Yeah, because it seemed to be from a resident, and I'm paraphrasing because it's not here, but essentially things like if they made homemade salsa. And then checked with the folks who were purchasing it to see if it was too hot or if they wanted it a little sweeter. But they wanted the ability to tweak the recipe on a regular basis without going back to the drawing board.
Right, I'll label
And
it.
spending $75 more and having to have that testing done for that.
I mean, my scary thing is about it is, I'm in the same boat as Dan, and, you know, I play around with farming, but I don't sell the stuff, I give it away, but. The biggest thing is, if you don't have the right temperatures for this stuff, then you don't know that unless you have it tested,
Right.
a batch tested. If you don't have the right temperatures, you can have quite a food poisoning real quick, real fast.
Well, and especially if it's a canned product.
All of it and all this would
And
be.
we've all, I don't want to speak for everybody here, but I know we can't stuff, there's been stuff that you're like, nope, that
Yeah.
one's a goner.
Yeah,
You know, because it doesn't seal properly.
right. Well, if we have the ordinance, the town, if I'm correct, if we have the ordinance, the town could be sued. We'd have to defend, doesn't mean they're gonna win, but we could have a defense cost. If we don't have the ordinance, then that
It's
can't happen.
it's buyer beware.
Right, okay. That's what was my understanding on it,
Yeah,
And they have to follow whatever the state.
what the
requirements
state
are.
requirements are.
We don't have to enforce it within the town.
Right,
right.
When the resident was here before, it seemed as if, in his case, it would have been more an interim situation that, rather than, as you said, paying the $75 per batch
Right,
to be approved by the state, that, you know, he could work it out more casually.
right.
And then after there was consensus from his customers or whatever, you know, then he would go to the state. But for him, it seemed like it was something that he would do on a short-term basis.
Right, looking to get
And I don't
essentially a
know,
home-based business set up this year
right,
and didn't want to wait.
and I don't know if that's the case with most people who do this. Or-
But with me, if I was doing that and wanted to be able to tweak it for preferences of people, I'd be making it that in that limited quantity and giving it away.
Right, and getting
And
back
saying,
here,
give me feedback and then we'll start production,
Mhm.
you know, so I just have a problem. So,
No, and that's why I wanted you here for, because I wanted. to be
Right,
able to
well, that's why
balance that.
we have tabled it, because you make some good points, Dan.
Excellent point.
Okay, so what's the pleasure? Anyone?
I make a motion that we do not consider putting the food sovereignty ordinance before the voters.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, any more discussion? All in favor of not adopting the food sovereignty ordinance? Dan?
yes,
Yes, you're in favor of not doing it. Okay, Barbara?
Yes.
Yes, I vote yes. Peter?
Yes.
Melanie? Yes. Okay, so it's 5 yeses to not adopt the
I mean,
ordinance.
down the road, when some of these ordinances, they're just starting to have them.
Mhm,
Let's see what happens with some of these other 90 towns, and see what kind of problems we have.
yeah,
Then if we have to go back and look at it.
Yeah, it's something we can always revisit.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'd like for a code enforcement officer to be in a good position to be able to do it if we enact such an ordinance.
okay. I move we open new business.
Second.
Okay. Under committee appointments, is Matthew Elliott here? He is here, yay, welcome. We have, let me get the form here. We have your, here we go. So is looking for an appointment to the newly being formed water district as a trustee. Can you give us a little of your background or tell us why you're interested in doing this?
Dealt with the DOT in the past on road projects.
Mhm.
I live in the area,
I was just gonna, Matt, have you
So-
been affected by this?
I live right behind us here, so
I know.
Yeah.
Bob's my best friend.
Yeah, coming to check. Okay. Anyone have any questions on that?
No, I move that we approve his appointment.
Okay. Any second?
I'll second.
Second that? All in favor, Dan?
Yes,
Barbara?
Yes.
Peter?
Yes.
Melanie?
Yes.
And I vote yes as well. So thank you, Matt, and you'll need to stop in and see Mary so she can swear you in, correct?
Not Thursday.
Not
here.
I'll wait.
Not tomorrow, right?
Not
Not tomorrow.
No, not Thursday. I'm not.
Oh, you're not here Thursday. Okay.
You're not here.
The way first reading.
Okay, the office is closed on Wednesday. Mary's not here on Thursday.
Okay.
This
Friday for the win.
All right, and our next one is appointment of Kathy Wall to the short-term rental ad hoc committee. Oh my God.
I'll second it.
Yes.
Okay. Kathy, you want to tell us why you're so happy to do this for us?
No.
I was invited. And, I foolishly said yes.
And we're very glad you foolishly said yes.
I have no idea what I'm getting into, but, that has never stopped me before.
Okay. Anyone have any questions for Kathy? All in favor, Melanie?
Oh, heck, yes.
Peter?
Yes.
Barbara?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes,
And I vote yes. Welcome aboard, ma'am.
Thank you, madam.
Okay.
Thank
If you'll stop and see Mary someday other than Wednesday or Thursday of this week.
Right.
Please warn in.
Stop by the house.
Okay,
I drive.
all right. And our, Laura's not here today, right?
No, Laura's, out of town.
Okay, so,
But
I
she
move
knows
we,
she'll be available at our next meeting.
okay, so we'll table her for the next meeting.
Yes.
Okay. Next one is Stacy Dowling to the, I know Stacy's here. Stacy being appointed to the cemetery committee. And, would you like to give us just a quick sentence or two on why this is, you're interested in doing this?
I'm a little like Kathy. I was kind of approached, but I'm happy to do so. I'd like to get involved. I'm new to Belgrade. And, I think it's a great opportunity to, you know, meet with people, you know, see what's going on.
That's great. Okay, did we take a motion?
I move we appoint Stacy Dowling to the cemetery committee.
I'll second that.
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor, Melanie?
Yes.
Peter?
Yes.
Barbara?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
And I'll vote yes. Welcome aboard and welcome to Belgrade. And,
Thank you.
let's see, when are you planting flowers? When do the flowers go in?
23rd.
23rd, you may be working that. Okay, and we do not have any reappointments, and then we do have resignation to act on for Michael Hayno.
Point of clarification. We don't have anything showing him resigning from the Board of Appeals, just the cemetery.
He did continue, his term was up, and he was not continuing, so he doesn't have to
So he
submit
doesn't.
a
have to.
resignation if his term is expired.
Okay.
So
So
okay.
that's not a resignation on that. He just didn't re-up.
Right. He didn't re-up.
Okay.
Okay, so this is, good morning all, please be advised that after much thought and deliberation, I have decided that after 16 years of service to the town and the cemetery committee, I regret to inform you all that I am resigning my position effective immediately. I will fulfill my obligation as committee secretary and complete a draft of last week's meeting minutes. Best to all, Michael Hayno. So I move we accept his resignation with gratitude and regret.
Second.
Second, any discussion?
Yes, can I add to that, that we should present him with a certificate of appreciation for 16 years. of service
Absolutely.
To the town, signed by the full board.
So all in favor of accepting his resignation? Melanie,
Yes.
Peter,
Yes.
Barbara?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
I'll vote yes. And Lorna, would you take care of the
I
letter of
believe you.
appreciation as well?
Yeah, I believe you have one in the folder.
Oh, okay. Haven't gotten to my folder yet. Okay, and then the other is an annual appointment of Kelsey Leibold has been appointed by the town manager under your authority as the BMV agent for 2024. And we just need to be made aware of that.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so it takes us through that part of it.
And thank you to everybody for being willing to serve on
Yeah.
committees. We really appreciate it.
Okay, is there someone here from Tavis? Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gabby.
Not going up.
Okay, would you like to introduce yourself and then tell us where we're at?
Sure. So my name is Megan Proctor. I've been on the board for Cable for probably about 10 years. It's changed a lot. It's changed a lot because of rules locally, with different kids. Aging out, going to Messalonsky, bringing Oakland and Sydney in with our kids. So probably everyone here knows recently Don Lewis passed away in January. And he was a very big part of our kids. Being in Belgrade, our kids coming up, having him as an umpire. They are doing a Hall of Fame induction for him on June 27th at Workman Field as part of the All-Star Tournament. K-Wist would like to purchase the memorial bench in his name and have it placed. Our ideal placement would be right near the rhododendron bush and the Kenneth Workman sign out in the outfield. We have been working with Riverside Memorial in Augusta. They're willing to order the bench, engrave the bench, deliver it and install it for us. So it would be a one-stop shop. So we do want to do that. We want to also do a bench that matches that and put kind of in memory of Kenneth Workman. And we'd like to unveil that at the same time. So we're really looking for, I guess, permission to go ahead and order these benches so we can have them for the June 27th Hall of Fame induction.
Okay,
I have a picture of the bench. I didn't print anything.
I think we have one in our,
Okay, oh,
Thank you.
for those of you.
And it does look nice online.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, it does.
Yeah.
It looks much better
Yeah.
in color.
Yeah.
Okay, I move we approve the, placement of memorial benches for Don Lewis and Kenneth Workman at the Workman Field.
So as suggested, so one would be at the,
Right. You're gonna do them on either side, right?
I think so. I probably will go down and take pictures of that location and send them to the people that would be installing. I don't know what it's, I don't know if it's gonna come to a point where it's time, if it's more level 5 feet to the right or to the left,
Yeah.
if that makes a difference for placement. We probably won't know that until
Totally get it.
until they get there, so. I mean, I guess we would want a little bit of leniency in placement, as long as it's
And
in that
that's-
area, just to make sure we're putting them the flattest place possible.
Mhm.
Would it be appropriate to have Corey or Dan McGlashan involved in the placement?
We could probably just have you coordinate with Corey, who's the facilities.
Yep.
He may go down there and help you shovel some rocks. He's not online.
Hold on with that, you want to make sure you put them in some place that's gonna be protected.
Right.
right,
Cars drive into that.
Well, and
field, even
that's-
though they're not supposed to be parking, and I was down there the other night, car parking deal. with
And
it.
that's why I wanted, near the rhododendron, kind of between the rhododendron, the sign and the fence. The fence, the way the fence opens this way, the bush would protect that bench, so they would really both be to the left of the bench to protect
them.
that.
Probably a good idea.
Okay, any more discussion? All in favor, Melanie?
Yes.
Peter?
yes.
Barbara?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
And I'll vote yes, and thank you for, be a wonderful tribute to both men.
No,
Who
yeah,
have
we're
done
very, very excited.
great things for us.
Thank you.
Exactly.
How's that painting come along down there?
It's coming along. It's, I'm,
I see blue buildings, I see not trim, isn't it painted? I
yeah.
still see one great big green building that doesn't match the blue building.
So I believe at this point, all 4 dugouts are done. They still need the trim to be completed, but the dugouts are done. And then we have the announcer's box that will be last. We did run into a little bit of issues just because couldn't start with the rain. So he's had to start later than he anticipated, and then having games. There's ball games down there Monday through Friday, until middle of June. So that's hampering it a little bit, but it'll be done.
Are they gonna do the snack shack to match?
I asked, we're waiting to have him finish the announcer's booth
And that's-
before we ask.
Just,
If not, we're gonna get the color of the paint and buy some and find another way to get that matching. So it will match when the project is complete.
Okay, all right. But, and thank you to K-Wis for all the work that you guys continue to do
Thank you.
down there. Okay, next item is request for proposals for tree services. Lorna, do you wanna?
So
Walk us
we,
through.
we had a contract in place which expired June 30. 1-year contract that we did last year. So I brought you the same RFP that we used last year, and then you also have a copy of the, current contract. That's in place, so we just I would like, approval from the board to get this out so that we could get proposals in and have something in place, for July 1.
So how are we gonna get it out and? Sure.
We usually post it, MMA, our website, Facebook. Obviously look for local people and get it to them, the current person, and then whoever else around does the same thing. I know Corey has some contacts too.
No, I'd say like maybe last month we were talking about if someone else via email or Facebook. We used to have a fairly tidy process on how we put out the RFPs because we had to purchase an ad in the newspaper. But where we don't now, maybe we streamline our process so that we always know when we do put an RFP out, where it's going and how. So that we follow the same process every time. So, because I don't know how many tree removal folks there are, I know there's a couple of them around.
Yeah, I think there's 3 or 4 of that.
Sydney and that, so. I just want, I don't want anybody to feel like they didn't get a notification that they may have put something in on.
Well, can we put it on the mat, on the sign out front? Or do we not put bid proposals on that?
And then we normally do that
No.
up front.
They
But I,
don't usually,
What-
because you don't have much room.
Yeah,
So you're
what
very
I would,
limited.
what I think we'll be doing is we'll send it out the way we normally do. I think we ought to look up local, within Augusta, Waterville, Sydney. And
Yeah.
specifically email them to them with a read notification so that we on the emails so that we know that they opened it up and they got it.
yeah,
That way nobody come back and say, I didn't get it.
right,
Right, and that's what I mean, is, I mean, our process used to be very dictated, and it was, we had to take it out of 2 days. And it had to be in this newspaper along with this newspaper. So the process was always the same, and every contractor would go to the classified section to see who was posting an RFP. But it's not anymore, so I don't, maybe when we're doing.
The last two that we did, auditing services and the fire department project, we had a list of people and it went out specifically to them via email. But then we also put it on MMA, our website and Facebook.
Well, there was one we just put out, what was it? Pest services.
pest service.
Yes.
One of them that we didn't know who got it through the email, that's what we had mentioned that.
It never got returned.
Right, but if you put it on the read notification,
I do have that.
yeah, let's make sure it gets put on, because that way they know. If they get rid of it, fine, but if they open it up and look at it, you know that you'll get a notification. That way, at least we know they got it, we're willing to look at it.
Okay, so I move we, allow the town manager to post the tree services proposal. For bid,
Second,
discussion? All in favor, Dan?
Yeah.
Barbara?
Yes.
Peter?
yes,
Melanie?
Yes.
And I'll vote yes, so that's 5 yeses. And next item of business is request for proposals for dry hydrant installation.
Yeah, that was
Those are-
good to be true, wasn't it?
I know, right? We did this last year and,
I was wondering why you were still here, and now, right.
to give you a little insight, one was high and one was low. I was communicating with him and then he stopped communicating the other one, so. Well, we got too busy or what, so we need to put it back out. You know, there's some funds.
Opera funds, but they're getting spent by September.
So this is for the,
End of the year, right?
26.
yeah, so this is for the spot in the village. The same one right behind the boat storage place.
So you're just gonna repost what you did before?
Yeah, see if we can get any more bidders. We wanted to make sure you had a pre-meet. Yeah, was there a pre-bid meeting on that?
There is a pre-bid meeting listed. We
Mandatory.
haven't put any dates in, but that's included with it, yes.
Good.
But then, Dan, you were, at the time you had mentioned possibly wanting to have more than one dry hydrant.
Yeah, we looked, we wanted to put one in the boat landing over in Belgrade, but it's, Inland Fisheries and Wildlife says no, can't have a dry hydrant at the boat launch, even though they don't have a dock there, they have nothing there.
Oh,
They say you can't have a dry hydrant on their property. So we're,
That would be on Salmon Lake or on Great Pond?
Sam, so we're looking for something over that way, that the pond, the one at the top of Base 11 split, right now we got water, because we've got pond rain, but 90% of the time it's dry. So we're trying to find a place somewhere else over that way. But it's hard. We're thinking about maybe, I don't know, Bombazine or down that way or something like that. Otherwise than that, it's just Brooks, unless we have one that's ponded up something, that's what, Danielle's working on that, see if she can find another spot.
Well, somewhere near the dam,
We have that one, it's dangerous. We have,
but I mean, there isn't one way to get in back behind it a little. farther up.
yeah, no, the high part there, well, it used to be fine, we had tons of people. You need traffic there, because you'll be killed. And we do have a dry hydrant there today, but it's just, and we can use it if we need to, but it's just,
Yeah.
it's very dangerous.
Yeah.
That's why I thought boat launch out of the way,
Yeah.
they don't even have a dock there, but,
no.
so we're still looking for another, weather will have it by the end of the year. The one on the bottom of the road works good now that we fixed that, the guy when they installed it, they stuck it in the mud. So we had a diver go in, and he just propped it up and got it out of that one works.
Yeah, we use that a lot, and
Okay,
We'll keep trying.
So do we need to put dates in for this? Or no?
I could,
I mean, I just like
You
it
can work-
pre-bid
I
me
can
like a
work
month before or something.
I
3
can
weeks.
work with Dan and.
Work with Dan on-
Bruce to
Yeah.
find out when we want to
Just
get
to
it
get-
out. back.
Just to get people out there to show them, you know, what it's all about.
okay, so I move we authorize the town manager to work with the fire department and get the proposal for the fire protection dry hydrant installation bids out.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Dan, all in favor?
Yes.
Barbara?
Yes,
Peter?
Yes.
Melanie?
Yes.
And I'll vote yes, so 5 yeses. Okay. Let's you guys can have something else to work on while we're waiting for you
Right.
to
I know.
do their
Thank
thing. Okay, thank you, Dan.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
That's why you make the bed like.
Okay, next item of business is the 4-day work week, 6-month review. Lorna, you're up.
So the board approved the trial run of the 4-day work week. We started that back in December, so the 6 months will be coming up.
Thank you, Matt.
The next month. I checked with all of our office staff, the folks that this affects. And asked them to give me their opinion or how they felt about the new schedule. So what you, what you are reading in your packet is actually each of those employees and their thoughts.
Oh, okay.
On it, that's not, from the public, that's from employees. And they were all in favor, of keeping the schedule, so that would be our request, is that we continue.
Mhm. Okay, any, comments or?
just the main comment they're, you know, working throughout town plus social media. It's been a lot of complaints. People, you know, have come, the office is not open. Thursday nights are now really overloaded. You wait in line for quite a period of time at Thursday to come in and do business. I don't know if that's because we're closed today. I don't know. I don't know if it's just because of the influx of on Thursdays. I don't know. It's just, there's a lot of people that don't like it. Some people are saying, you know, can you rotate it? So, you know, still do a 4-day week, but rotate so somebody's here on Wednesday. I don't know. I'm just telling you, as working in this town as a service business, hearing people grumble about stuff, and that's one thing people grumble about, you know. Hey, we pay taxes in this town, we pay dear taxes, we can't get services at that town office 5 days a week, it's kind of foolish. That's what I hear.
I think the biggest complaint that I saw were the folks who came in to register their dog on the last day that it was possible and the town
Right.
office was closed. And
It's easy to forget that it's closed on Wednesday, like I told you last night. I came over a week or so ago on Wednesday. right?
So I've done it 2 or 3 times.
Well, I mean, it's going to take some getting used to, that's for sure.
and all the summer people, the seasonal residents coming back, they're
And
gonna
that's,
Right, we'll
have to
see.
get.
that's where I'm hearing the grumble.
That's. the-
That's where the grumbling's coming from. They're the ones that pay the most of the taxes in this town. And they're the ones that come in here to register their boats, register the, you know, state of Maine vehicles, this and that, and.
Well, tell them we considered having it closed on Monday or Friday, but we didn't want to take away a day adjacent to the weekend so that they would have more of an opportunity to come in.
No, it's just, like I said, it's grumbling I'm hearing. I'm not in favor of being closed on Wednesday. I stress that, and you guys would decide the first time around, I'm still not in favor of it.
So if people grumble to you, do you suggest that they contact the town manager?
I do, but, you know, people, they just grumble, you know, you just hear a grumble, and like I said, it was on social media, I mean, it's all social media back 2-3 months ago, it was on Neighbor Help a Neighbor steady. People complaining.
I think that was when the dogs, that was the dog last day to register dogs issue.
yeah, because there were a couple of people who said, you know, that was my fault, 'cause I waited till the last day and. And now I'm gonna get whacked when I can register my dog tomorrow. So you used to be a board member, but surely.
Yes,
So.
And do we have anything on the sign down front that says closed Wednesday?
We have our hours. Out front as along with transfer station and library hours
And so,
are out front.
so on this,
On the door?
Yes, they're on the sign, they're on the door. Yeah,
so if a person saw it on the sign,
they would.
they have an indication.
I mean, I think one reason that the staff wanted to do this was to help with retention, that
right.
the initiative really came from the staff.
It did, yes.
And just one other question I got is, I still haven't figured out how the 40 hours is working for the employees, so 7 to 5.
They started,
They
they come
start
at
at
6:30.
6:30 and take a half hour lunch.
Okay, so everybody's taking just a half hour.
Half hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're rotating, so one person.
So it's a good thing I'm not an employee, because I would go, what? Want me there ready to work at 6:30? But that's me. Good. Anyone have any thoughts that we do anything different, or we get through the summer and see how? Make sure we don't have a revolt
What if we review it again in 6
in
months
6 months?
and see, where we at in a year?
Mhm.
And maybe put a survey thing out front, that we used to have a little suggestion box or a survey box.
Yeah, I could do that.
Folks who are utilizing the town office, the opportunity to say,
Well, and I think part of it, I mean, I know it's closed on Wednesdays and same thing. But
Yeah. And what about meetings on Wednesdays? Because when the office, I know that the Lakes and Natural Resources Committee moved from Wednesday to Tuesday because they were having trouble getting into the building. I mean, not trouble, but somebody had to arrange to come and open the building for that. So is there anything that's not part of the 4-day work week review, but it does affect, since the office isn't open, and staff isn't working,
Right,
You know,
so
that-
someone has to be here.
someone has to be here to open and close buildings for, what is it, comp plan and the fire.
Comp plan, building committee.
Yeah.
The other thing that happens is, you guys conduct business on Tuesday night. Wednesday stuff should be getting done, the stuff doesn't get done till Thursday. So there's delays on stuff, processes getting done, and, one foolish thing, doesn't affect, it does affect me, but it doesn't affect me, it's like the treasurer, okay? As businesses have already waited 2 weeks, so we expect that we have a board meeting Tuesday night, check gets cut on Wednesday, you can either pick it up or it gets mailed Wednesday. Now, your check doesn't get cut until Thursday. By the time our mail in this town works, you don't get your check until the following week on Wednesday or Thursday. And it never happened that way when things are processed the next day on Wednesday. You usually had to check, Friday or, it's just. Business is conducted here on Tuesday night is getting delayed by another day. And, and it's an issue. If we deal with it, it's like, fire department had something and it's like, oh, yeah, we'll deal with it tomorrow. No, can't deal with it tomorrow, town office closed. It's like, or people, the other thing is people used to go Wednesdays to listen to the meeting. And they not until Thursday now. And I know it's.
Do it Wednesday morning.
Yeah, somebody started doing it now. because-
They've been posted first thing.
Yeah, but I know it
Yeah.
wasn't being posted because.
But
people-
that's a day off for you, so that's
It
something
is.
that
But I do it.
work-life balance needs to look at. Right?
Right, I just, and I'm not saying take away a 4-day week, I mean, I don't know if we have enough staff so we can start doing a rotation. That's what I'm getting at.
well, we'd have to have 2 and 2, Bruce, because the town policy is to have 2 people in the building at all times for safety.
So, but we're fully staffed now, we should be able to do 2 and 2.
You get vacations and sick, I don't know. Why don't
You
we,
got
why don't we look at it?
Warner, Nick, and Mary. Kelsey and,
Ian,
so you're fully staffed. When we was up there fully staffed, he was able to rotate that, rotate staff, vacation and everything. He was able to do it when that full staff. He should be able to do it here.
Well, then we're going back, you're saying going back to 5 8-hour days.
Right.
And we might lose staff if we do that, but I mean, I think.
No.
It's not talking about
5 8-hour days. I'm saying you rotate.
have Wednesday
that.
open.
Two people would work Wednesday and two people would have like Tuesday off. So they still get the 4 days, it's just,
Right.
everybody wouldn't have the same
You
day
have to
off.
look at, to see,
Oh, I see, 5 days, so they'd still be 10-hour days.
every 10-hour days.
Yeah, and I remember in talking with Ella
The
Bowman,
office, people would work.
That's,
in talking with Ella Bowman when she was at
That
Oakland with
doesn't
the same
work.
size staff, that the problem came when people were sick or on vacation. That I think they have a similar size staff in the office, and it was a big problem for them.
Well, they actually, but in their office. So their office is set up totally different than our office. They have 2 people in their office and that's it. So when somebody, when somebody goes to lunch, one person will come in from upstairs or come down from the audit and just be there, so they don't wait on people, they're just there while that person, they take their lunches, they only have 2 people in that front office, it's it.
Well, why don't we, Lorna, why don't you look at it and see if there's any way that, for future reference, and we'll review it in 6 months, and if we get a lot of complaints in between, then maybe we have to review it ahead of time, but to look at, is there a way to rotate it? The only other thought I have, would there be a way to do half day on Wednesday, or do, something where we could, maybe Carol Ann comes in at 7:30 instead of 6:30, 4 days a week, so that I could work 4 hours or something on Wednesday. I don't know, but I think, look to see if there's any creative answer. And if not, we'll look at it in 6 months and make a decision.
Yeah,
If we,
but I
if
think-
we need to.
Yeah, and I think it's important to kind of document and try to tally
Right.
rumbles.
Exactly.
Well, I think we should, and I think it's
And-
worth documenting to the employees that we are getting some feedback, and that this isn't, guaranteed, if
But we
we
don't
need
really-
to change.
We don't
may need
know
to
if
find
we're
some-
having, 2 rumbles or
Right.
85
85
rumbles.
rumbles.
And I think the survey thing out front is a great. I mean, we've done it in the past, it
Yeah.
works
And-
great.
Yeah, Carol, and what about putting something in the summer newsletter saying, change in office hours, for 10-hour days. Please let us know, please let Lorna, town manager, know how you like this,
Yeah,
or,
Well, we said
how,
there'll be a survey box at the town office.
yeah.
Feel free to put your.
Yeah, but we want your input on the new town office schedule.
Right, because the whole point is that we're here to serve the community, not ourselves.
right.
So. But we also have to have a balance and have happy staff. It's a very small
Right,
staff.
yeah.
So I make a motion that we continue the 4-day work week the way it is currently. For another 6-month period, and at the end of the 6-month period that we re-review. Whatever comments we have received and recheck in with the staff at that point.
Second,
Any more discussion?
I have a
Oh,
question.
oh,
I have a question. So do we have a distribution list of summer residents, some kind of email list that?
I
But
thought
we're having, we could bring this up at the
I
summer
don't think
residents,
so.
at
Yeah,
the,
but
there's a
we'll
summer
have-
residents meeting that's
Summer
on the
July.
schedule
Be
in
great.
July, so
We can reinforce it then.
that could be a topic then.
Yeah,
Okay, thank
And
you.
you may get some input from them at that point too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, all in favor, Melanie,
Yes.
Peter,
Yes.
Barbara?
Yes,
Dan?
Yes.
And I'll vote yes. 5 yeses. Okay, is there any other business to come before the board? I think there's anything on our paper here, right? Okay, if there's no other business, we'll go into warrants. So I move we pay warrant number 45 in the amount, payroll warrant number 45 in the amount of $27,515.02.
Second.
All in favor, Dan,
Yes,
Barbara,
Yes,
Peter,
Yes.
Melanie?
Yes.
I'll vote yes, 5 yeses. I move we pay BMV warrant number 46 in the amount of $14,682.77.
Second.
All in favor, Dan,
yes,
Barbara,
yes,
Peter,
Yes.
Melanie,
Yes.
and I'll vote yes. I move we pay payroll, we approve payroll warrant number 47 in the amount of $506.68.
Second.
All in favor, Dan,
yes.
Barbara,
yes.
Peter,
Yes.
Melanie,
Yes.
and I'll vote yes.
Can I ask, what is, sorry, can you say, what is Mission Square?
Mission Square is retirement.
Okay, so that's main purse.
No, Mission Square is retirement. Main purse is also retirement.
And the main person is listed separately, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah, main purse is also then.
So main square would be just a separate retirement
Are you,
vehicle.
which,
47.
yeah, so main purse, like, so there's main purse, Mission Square, I still contribute on my own to Mission Square. The town does not match my, contribution, but I have money withheld from my check to contribute to my retirement account. But the,
I remember saying Mission Square
yeah, Mission Square is the 457,
Is it the investment company?
yes.
Okay.
It's the deferred comp that the town has.
Thank you. Okay, I move we approve BMV warrant number 48 in the amount of $10,898.92.
Second.
Which one?
All right, Peter can have that.
All in favor, Melanie,
Yes.
Peter,
Yes.
Barbara,
Yes,
Dan?
Yes,
Okay, I move we pay, we approve payroll warrant number 49 in the amount of $23,417.26.
Second.
All in favor, Melanie,
Yes.
Peter,
Yes.
Barbara,
yes,
Dan?
Yeah.
Okay, and I move we approve, AP warrant number 50 in the amount of $1,092,000. No, 1,090,000. Am I missing it?
Oh, I missed a number.
I missed the number. Wait a minute.
What is it?
$1,092,694.41.
okay.
Second.
Okay, any discussion on the AP warrant?
Hurts.
Under repairs and computer systems on page 4, we have 2 things listed on the transfer station credit card and the recreation credit card. Does each department have their own credit card now? They used to have to come to the town office and get the town credit card.
It's not a credit card, it's a credit card processing.
Yes, slightly, slightly.
Because they each do cash receipting with Trio at their respective locations, so in order to take credit cards,
Oh.
they have to have that module. So they both agreed they had money in their budget to cover it. They asked about it, so I checked with Trio. So they're both getting that so that they can now accept credit
Credit
cards.
cards.
and
Okay,
is that a one-time charge?
It is.
They
okay.
better take in a lot of money.
Yeah, that's one of those ones. I would have been like, if somebody's got a town phone, why are we not just giving them a square? That goes on their phone and then they swipe the cards and it's all.
It's because of the trio, right?
Right,
Yeah, so,
and the reporting and all of that, integrating those transactions, it would be difficult to
I asked that
integrate
question
that.
to Kenny,
Yeah,
so.
but yeah, because that's what I thought,
Yeah.
I have squared, yeah. I thought that as well.
Okay. Anything else anyone have?
Yeah, page 8. We have 10 hours of fixing signs. Do we have a list of like what signs we fixed?
Is that Jason?
Yeah,
I don't know if he's under Jason or Stevens.
I think he's under Steven, it's alphabetical. Oh, I know there.
after Spectrum.
Going back on page 5, we have $651 for new road signs, so maybe you'd like to put them up.
So skid steer, attachment for skid steer, the sweeper, 1-ton truck, labor grader, roller, 18-year truck. 1 ton, 1 ton, I don't see anything, oh, I see, fixed signs, $710.91 is on the bottom of this sheet. So that was the 1 ton, and then the 1 ton was used to fix a washout, $359.55. And then we did sweep intersections, grade and roll Stevens Road, grade and roll end of location road. Gravel added also, cold patch, potholes. That was $7,034.64 for a whole laundry list.
Yeah, but it's the sign she was asking.
Yeah.
What did
So
they, what
does
did they use the one time? to fix the
$10.91.
signs?
Yeah.
The one time
The
was
one
to
kind of
fix the
separate
washout.
is to fix the washout.
Yeah, but they also use, it says
No, there's 2 different
6
pages.
6 hours, 1 day, 4 hours, another,
That's what they usually go around to.
to go
Do
around and do
everything.
it. The one, their 1 ton truck.
Yeah, let's pay.
Did that answer? No.
No.
Do you want me to reach out to?
He's using the 1 ton to go around and fix the signs.
Right,
Right.
So he probably went around and installed all the new ones he bought.
he had to go and, that was one of the things, probably maybe 2 meetings ago, if we check my town manager meeting, it gave an update, what he would be doing, he was gonna be doing the sweeping. And the signs, he had to go and whatever signs were down, he had to order new ones and get those put out.
Okay, can we just ask where they were?
Yes,
So these are road signs, these are like
Yes.
the welcome to Belgrade signs.
Once he comes in the back of the truck to get above the signs to drive them into. the
Oh,
ground.
yeah.
Go back into. Yeah. but
Yeah,
not-
I
That's
get
gonna
yeah,
use the ladder, but
Right.
he's using a truck.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
that's not ultra approved.
Yeah. We won't say anything about that, right?
And then the last thing I had was on page 9, the Warren Brothers, the $31,409.30. Is that our last payment to the Warren Brothers? And if so, I know that we were going to get a gift certificate and a card for them.
it's in the folder, the gift certificate, and there's a card for you all to sign tonight.
Okay. So that's what I was checking, was that this was the last one because we were tired.
Yes, it's, yep,
Yeah.
everything's in your folder.
Okay. That's it for me.
I don't know if it's, the last one, but I'm assuming, because they usually go October to May.
Right.
So I'm gonna guess is the last one. But I did get the gift card in the card.
Anything else anyone have? Any questions? Okay, all in favor, Dan,
Yes.
Barbara,
Yes,
Peter,
Yes.
Melanie?
Yes.
I'll vote yes, so 5 yes. And then I move we approve BMV warrant number 51 in the amount of $6,013.70.
Second.
All in favor, Melanie,
Yes.
Peter,
Yes.
Barbara,
yes,
Dan,
Yes.
and I'll vote yes. And I move we approve payroll warrant article number 52 in the amount of $23,701.64.
Second.
All in favor, Melanie,
Yes.
Peter,
Yes.
Barbara,
yes.
Dan,
Yes.
and I vote yes. And we are through the warrant article. So we are now up to town manager report, Lorna.
So I gave you some legal updates. One of these is the process for selling tax acquired properties. So the key takeaways are overall, the changes implemented through LD 2262 were not very friendly to municipalities. The changes provided some clarity on the consequences of retaining tax acquired property, but also subject municipalities to additional administrative responsibilities that will require further adjustment policies and procedures relating to the sale of tax acquired properties. It will take time and input from the courts to understand fully how these processes will function. Credit Flaherty is the law firm that put this out, so they recommend contacting your municipal attorney with any questions and before listing any tax acquired properties for sale or finalizing the sale of any currently listed tax acquired properties. So it sounds like a real mess and I will continue to monitor it. I'm sure that Bernstein will put something out there. I usually get a email newsletter from them every so often with updates.
We don't have any property that's.
We don't,
Okay.
no, we don't have anything. Also LD1, both chambers of the second regular session of the Maine 131st legislature passed, and on April 9, 2024, Governor Mills signed into law LD 2102, which is a bill to amend Title 30A, Section 5681118 of the Maine Revised Statutes and repeal Title 30A, Section 5721A of the Maine Revised Statutes that had placed limitations on municipal property tax collection, commonly referred to as LD1. Pursuant to the Maine Constitution, Article 4, Section 316, this action becomes effective 90 days after the legislative session is recessed until the effective date, Section 5721A continues to be law, at which time it will be repealed. And I included a copy of the act in your packet so that you can take a look at that.
I didn't vote for that.
Either.
So basically, what it does is now the town has the authority without the voter approval to spend.
So it takes away LD1.
It does, yeah. I attended the monthly KV cog board meeting via Zoom, fire building committee and MMA leadership training. I should have said half a day because I came home and I came back and did great stuff. We have completed and submitted 2 grant applications for CDS funding, both to the offices of Senator Collins and King for the fire station project. The submission deadline was April 24th at 6 p.m. Ballots will be available May 17 in preparation for the state primary, U18 school budget and town referendum. And that's the ordinance updates for LD 2003. The town office will be open Saturday, May 18 from 9. It should be 9 to noon.
9 to noon.
Yeah, 9, not 9 to 3, 9 to 12. We do those 3 Saturdays, April, May, June. We will once again be planting flowers on Memorial Day, Thursday, May 23. Volunteers are welcome. Just bring a trowel, wear garden gloves, sunscreen, and bug spray. And that's listed on our Facebook page and on our website.
And that starts at 9 too.
It does. The Memorial Day service will be held Monday, May 27 at 10 a.m. at the History House. Frank Hagan will be master of ceremonies in the event of inclement weather. The event will be held at the school. We don't have everything finalized. Mary is still putting all of that together. So once we get
Do we
that,
have a speaker yet?
no, not yet.
Do we have access to the school on the weekends, the building?
Mary said that we were all set to use it if we needed to.
I was gonna say, move to 3 or 4 years ago, so.
Facilities are closed May 27th in observance of Memorial Day. We have received the county tax figure for fiscal year 25 with an increase of 32.7%, or $276,781 for the town of Belgrade. We have received the RSU 18 fiscal year 25 budget figure for the town of Belgrade, which shows an increase of 18.84%, or 495,000, excuse me, 495, that is right, 1,665. Fuel contracts have been signed, auditing services agreement is in place. The culverts have been ordered, the Bobcat mower received, and the Walker mower has been ordered. New school board directors page has been added to our website. Current RSU 18 budget information. And I provided a link if you looked at the PDF for the board packet, it would take there. June newsletters in progress. Barbara Allen, Mary Vogel, and I have been working on the employee handbook, reviewing and making suggested edits for the board to review at an upcoming meeting. We've had 2 meetings so far. We're about a third of the way. It's quite involved.
It's complicated.
It is. The Belgrade Hotel Historical Panel has been installed in the Village Green, generously donated by Lynn Matson. RSU 18 answers to board questions from the budget presentation April 16. You had asked for a student enrollment study that is on our website, and if you look at the PDF of the board packet, it will link. Those words will link you to it. Property and equipment increase on the consolidated budget document. Instead of leasing copiers, they are purchasing some new machines this year. So the leases have decreased, but the equipment purchase is up. The purchase will be roughly 36,500, which was most of the majority of the increase. The rest is just due to the fact that they have been able to purchase a lot of equipment through federal funds, so they have not had to do increases for a few years. Asbestos, I think this was your question last year and this year, Melanie. The only school that is known, that has known of asbestos is above the ceiling in the boiler room at the James H. Bean School, but that is contained, so it is within compliance and has not been recommended to take down. They do have some tiles that are very old. They have tested them and none have asbestos. However, in some of the oldest tiles, oldest tiles we have, when we replace them, sometimes the glue that was used may contain asbestos. So even if the tile doesn't, the glue does. So anytime they remove old tile, they start by having it tested, and then if there is asbestos in the glue, they have a full abatement done. So that's good. They've not run into this for a few years, but they do still have a few of those older sets of tiles. It's heavily regulated. They have inspections and are within compliance in every building. Upcoming meetings, May 13, the DMs committee at 4, Board of Parks and Rec at 6:30, transfer station at 7. On the 15th, comprehensive plan at 5:30, fire and rescue at 6:30, although Bruce tried to move that to.
Yeah, I get it.
I had to laugh when I saw that. I knew you must have been tired. Thursday, the 16th, planning board at 6, Tuesday, the 21st, lakes and natural resources at 3:30. And I've also provided you an updated comprehensive plan schedule that Grania from Katie Cog sent out to everyone.
Yeah, and can I add something?
Yes.
About the comprehensive plan, I would just like to say that it is really helpful to have people who are knowledgeable or are stakeholders in these particular topics that are being discussed.
Recreation is up.
Recreation is up next, and agriculture and forestry.
So I sent the information out to Dan from Center for All Seasons, our rec director, Jamie Dion, who is the chair of, the Board of Parks and Rec. And also Kate Wisp, and their input as well.
Yeah, great. Laura, could you take care of sending a thank you to Lynn Matson for the historical marker?
Yes,
I know we verbally thanked him, but just a much more formal. If you haven't had a chance to see it, really is nice.
It's
And
beautiful.
Barbara, why don't you did the walk the other day?
Oh, yeah, I took the history walk last Saturday morning that Diane Dowd and Eric Hoagland led. That was primarily about the Hotel Belgrade.
Yeah.
And so we were just in the area of the village. Where it's starting where the plaque is and then going down Lakeshore Drive and up Foster. Foster
Lane.
Lane, and down in that area, going down to the lake. And Diane and Eric, both very knowledgeable about the history and had lots of, they had 2 notebooks with photos to show as we were walking. So it was really, they did a really nice job with it. And it was well attended. There were 25 to 30 people who were
That's
there.
really good.
Yeah.
I should probably redo that in the summer when we got some summer folks here. Yeah, I assumed there was gonna be more walking in the town. I didn't realize it was just going right down to the beach.
Yeah, it all focused on the hotel.
Yeah, I couldn't do it anyway. One of the things that we sort of discussed or talked about discussing tonight was, do we need to do any more work on meeting on the ordinance LD 2003? Remember we said we really needed to discuss
Yeah,
that.
I think we kind of left it that I was gonna speak with Hans about putting something in the newsletter, which I did today, and he's already started on that.
Okay.
He should have something to me within a couple of days. And I'll forward that out to you all.
Okay,
To
but do
take
we
a look
want to
at.
think about, we'd have time after our next meeting to set a public, information meeting if people wanted to come. Because there are those two or three or four things that people seem to be confused over. That we could,
He's doing almost like an explanation of those things that he's hearing, because he's been approached by realtors and residents alike, builders. So he has a good handle on what those major
Okay.
concerns are. And he's also going to include what would happen if they don't pass. And
Right.
we fall to the state guidelines on that, so, which would be much worse.
be much more,
Yes.
okay,
I'm questioning while I'm thinking of it. I may have missed it being in and out because of the state. Normally this time of year, we hear about, or give approval for the striping the double lines on some of the roads around here. And then we talk about redoing striping down in the village.
mhm,
I know, I think it was last year, we didn't do the parking spots because we figured, well, every couple of years we could do
Yeah.
them. But they're starting to get to the point
They
where
are.
they need to be done.
Mhm.
So I just didn't know if you guys had talked about.
we
that.
had not talked about it,
This is the time of year they need to be done.
yeah. There. Is there any way we could do that? We could do it ourselves? With our facilities crew, or do we need? It's really expensive to hire a.
Special stuff.
It's the paint they use on the roads and it has
Okay.
that glass beads.
We
put in it.
we just had the transfer station done, last week.
Yeah, I remember seeing something come.
It was-
Yeah. from-
Cause I know we went around to
Yeah.
the residents.
Lucas usually does it, but
Yeah.
we usually put a proposal out because they do the whole town at once.
Right.
It's the most expensive.
Oh, you
place
have
to
to.
get it.
Right, and we actually talked to the residents down in the village and asked, cause they added the little triangles by some of their driveways that we didn't wanna pay for.
Right,
You know, and I don't know if they wanna, if they get to the point where they need to be redone, if they. I don't necessarily wanna do them out of the town costs, but they wanted them to keep it parking there.
right. So if they wanted it, they would have to pay for that.
Right, so,
It was only like $25, it was really inexpensive,
Right, exactly.
yeah,
So no, good point. Can we bring that up on the next meeting, like?
yeah, if we get in the middle of, once we get past Memorial Day, you start getting some of the people down there, it's gonna be almost impossible,
Yeah,
but.
this just about
Crosswalk.
the crossways are all, you can't even
Yeah.
see them, so.
Right, so.
Is that within the road commissioners? permit?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
Yeah, it should be.
yeah,
should be.
So we should check with Jason.
What he can do,
no, whether,
Part of his
whether
budget.
he arranged,
It's part of the roads.
it's part of the roads,
Right.
yeah, so he would do it.
I just happened,
He would
I happened
get
to
it
notice when I was
done.
driving up through there the other day, it's like,
Yeah,
man, this thing
I-
needs to be done.
I kinda did, and I thought it was already planned, so I guess I was in the same boat you were.
Yeah, it's something we need to.
so if we're booking it for the transfer
We need to
station,
start
we should be
doing-
booking it for the whole town.
We had a couple dangerous situations happen, so that's why we
Yeah.
kinda did jump
I
on
think
it.
we need to start discussing this earlier in the spring.
Yeah. People are going their own direction at the transfer station.
March, like March.
Yeah,
I
so
put it on
days.
my
So
calendar.
that way we can get the stuff out there to get the prices on it, because we normally do some of these hills that are real bad, some of the corners are real bad, and then we've added, since they redid the village, we've added on stuff down there, so.
And while you're Jason on the roads, unfortunately, Wings Mills Road, the hot top's starting to break up because the shoulders are so far down. So the edge of the hot top's getting broke up. And unfortunately, when we had the last flood we had a kind of sinkhole on the big culvert on, Meadowbrook. Now the opposite side of the road is starting to cave in, so I think we're losing that culvert.
That's speaking to the integrity of that support structure, so that's got to be addressed.
Yes. He may have to temporarily put something inside that one, which right now that culvert's too small. It was too small and you got replaced after the flood of '87. It's never been able to handle a lot, even, they just put back what was there and the flood of '87 ain't gonna handle it.
Is that a spot that he has one of the new culverts planned for?
I'm not sure.
So we should check with Jason
Yeah.
and maybe get that answer to us, to the board.
Yeah.
Cause
But
he
the
What was
did plan for
the,
a couple.
Wing
Right,
Mills,
for a dozen.
Meadowbrook, the Meadowbrook.
Yeah, because.
Culvert. So on, he knows, we've been, but you're discussing with Jason, so I might as well just give it.
we
get a call.
we just put that order in for those, a bunch of bigger culverts because he's,
Right, so maybe
replacing.
he already has that
we've
plan.
got so
but
much
he can
water.
tell me. And that was one of the reasons I wanted him on that meeting, so we could ask what his plans were.
I just don't know if he knows that it's starting to cave in on the Belgrade Stream side now, so, and the hot top, so hot top's got a big sinkhole in it. I noticed that today.
Is it, an emergency? Is
You
it-
probably ought to look at it
Yeah.
to see if it's, what's going on. Like I said, there's a divot in there now, and then they had never had.
It'll
it.
grow.
But the shoulders are because we're starting to lose hot top.
Yeah.
That road's not that old.
Okay, is there anything else? I move we adjourn the meeting at 8:45. Woo-hoo.
Second, yeah.
All right.
All in favor?
In favor?
Oh, yeah, all in favor.
Yes.
Dan, I assume you're in favor?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.